how to cook. That's right. Step-by-step instructions in case you're struggling. You can just go right there and say, am I doing the right thing? And they give you a picture to see what it looks like. So you'll know you jacked it up.
You know, you'll sit down. You see what here's.
Oh,
it's coming out.
HelloFresh.com/Karen right now. $30 off your first box. $13 off. Free shipping is daggone near free. No risk. HelloFresh.com/Karen.
live streaming in 360.
That's fire.
Karen on the show. We come back Tech Tuesday
Boom, boom.
full effect. We'll be right back.
That's fire. What brand is that?
So it's called Insta360 is the actual brand. Connects right to the iPhone. They have a newer version that's way better. But it's pretty cool.
It goes straight to Facebook, straight to...
It goes straight to Facebook, straight to YouTube, but not at the same time. It's one or the other.
Got you.
So right now I'm doing my Facebook Tech Talk.
That's fire.
Yeah, thank you. Jemeson.
What up? What's good?
What it
Tech
is.
Tuesday.
Tech Tuesday. Karen Hunter.
We in here.
Sirius XM.
Yeah, let's get it.
126?
126.
You know what's funny is I'm mouthing it, right? But they can see me still. There's no camera one way. It's both ways.
Cool. Awesome. Bring you in here shortly. Did you want to water anything?
No, I think I'm good. We're not that long, right? It's not going to be... I don't think I'll dry up. I'm rarely on this side of the board.
Any song? Favorite song? Coming back for break?
We're going to do the Tech Tuesday thing.
Oh, okay.
You may need help with the mobilization movement.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you.
Oh, Jemeson got slam, blam, blam.
Sorry. I'm just bumping into things. Whizzer. Whizzer, like RZA, but whizzer.
You don't want to sign his pen. That's just my MO. Yeah, Pink does something for people.
Can you get that up? So I can check it?
Of course he lied. That's what he does.
Thank you so much. It was a great time. I needed that. I felt like I had some Geritol.
No, you need to knock it off. I'm not even receiving any of it. You on the
I'm
Geritol
gonna need
train
to
by
say,
yourself.
I'm gonna need to say this is the baby in every bottle.
That's facts.
That's what she's
All
doing.
right. Let's make this transition.
Okay, we're
Have a
transitioning
good day,
out.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Can I leave this with you?
Take care,
Thank you.
man.
How you doing?
Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, it's here. I'm sorry.
I actually have a lot of drops from Jay-Z, Cameron, Jim Jones, everybody saying, tat, 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 what the fuck?
Oh, okay.
That's from Menace to Society, though.
Okay, I don't know what that means. But what is this?
This is a camera live streaming in 360 to my Facebook page. Well, my technology can't, well, you can see it, yeah.
You gonna hit the record button.
It's recording now.
Is it?
Yep.
So people can see us.
They can see us right now. So even if I turn it this way, it sees you, and if I turn it this way, it sees you.
That is beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah,
Is that whose technology is that? Where'd you get that?
Well, this is 360 technology. It belongs to the world, but this camera is called Insta360, and it is made specifically for the iPhone.
Nice.
But they don't have a deal with Apple, so Apple needs to do something about that.
Apple always needs to do something.
Yeah, that's a fact. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you as well,
Great to
my
meet
brother.
you. Thank you.
So you site manage in Flex We Trust. I'm
Yes.
supposed to be doing a project with Flex. He's
Really?
yeah, we're I don't want to talk about it because it's on camera.
Okay. Well,
We'll talk about it. I love
yes.
him though.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
That's my guy.
Yes.
That's the team.
I won't say nothing.
No,
All
not
right.
not
So we're
now.
gonna talk about blockchain.
Blockchain, crypto technology, cryptocurrencies rather, sorry, and the education people need, because especially with this fall as of yesterday
Well,
and
it's
so
back up now.
it's going back up. It's
But it's
super
gonna
slow.
crash. Yeah, but it's gonna. I mean, we're supposed to crash. You can't keep going
Yeah, it
up.
goes through these cycles, but
Yeah.
a lot of people just started paying attention in December, so New Jacks got all scared when it, oh, what do I do? I'm losing all my money. Like,
Right.
there's a term, it's called hodl, which is a mistake that happened.
Oh, well, wait till we get
Okay,
on the air. You
copy,
giving away all
copy.
of the
All the
juice
juicy stuff.
before we get
Copy,
before
copy.
we get to the
Well, you know,
To the
it's
hee-haw.
good for me to remind myself too.
This is
You know.
Tech Tuesday on the Karen Hunter Show.
Okay. Is that from Doctor Who?
Nah, we did that ourselves,
Okay.
sir.
Well, I mean
we
the
create,
concept.
We create our own.
Of course,
Create
of
our own
course,
content here.
Of course.
Welcome back. It's the hottest show in the galaxy.
That's it.
It is. It is. It is. It is. Tech Tuesday in full effect. And let me welcome to the show. He is a site manager in Inflex We Trust,
Yes.
which is Funk Master Flex.
Funk Flex, yep.
And he's also the manager of DJ Funk Flex, the app.
Yes, the app.
Let me welcome. We're going to talk something different though.
Yes.
Let me welcome to the show, Mr. Tat Wizza.
Wizza, yes, that's it.
Wizza.
That's what it is.
Wizza.
Yep. Just like RZA, but Wizza.
What is that? Because that's not on your birth
Well,
certificate.
my name
I
is
know
Frank,
that.
and they used to call me in the
Frank.
neighborhood Frank White, like the movie.
I got you.
And then when Wu-Tang got but I've been at Hot 97 a long time, so DJ Mr. C actually called me that first.
Okay.
And it stuck with me. He was like, Tat Wizza instead of Tat White.
I got you. What's the tat?
Well, Tat comes from Menace to Society.
Okay.
Tat, what the,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
You know, so
Okay.
then that,
So
it's
you
a
just
street
kinda-
thing. I've
yeah.
converted over from street politics to non-street politics.
How does one do that? Because it seems like some
Focus.
people don't know how to convert.
Yes, focus. Well, my son actually helped me. When my son was 2 months in his mom, I had gotten in trouble, was facing some time, and I was like, you know what? I'm out of here, and never touched anything street again.
So the baby made you reevaluate your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And never went back.
Never.
So how does one parlay into financial security in other industries?
Okay, so that's perfect into what we're going to talk about, which is blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Blockchain is a technology which is pretty much like an open ledger, right? So you get these computers together, they mine this cryptocurrency or whatever the case is by solving these problems that are going to potentially help mankind, which makes the currency valuable over time. And then you can then trade the currencies back and forth amongst each other, and there's a public ledger that shows it. So no one has to monitor your money but you. But if somebody wants to see it, they can.
Right, it's open.
Yep.
We actually, there was a documentary that I recently
There's
watched.
a few, yeah.
A bunch of them. But, and right now in the sex trade work area, in other countries, they're using cryptocurrency so that people who are in the not sex trade, the sexual,
Well, are you
I wanna
talking
call them
about
prostitutes.
underground, or are you
I wanna
talking
call them
about
prostitutes,
legitimate?
underground, legitimate in other countries,
Okay.
but it's not legitimate in America
So-
because it's illegal in America. But in countries where prostitution is legal,
Right.
they're using this blockchain so that prostitutes can get their money.
Yes. There's been a few things like Silk Road that popped up over the years that allows for the criminal activity to happen and whatnot. That's gonna happen. I mean, you tell me that somebody's not illegally using cash?
No, here's the thing.
They definitely.
Here's the thing. And this is why I've expanded. We've been told what's legal and what's illegal based on
Right.
some 1%'s ability to be able to make money. So,
Correct.
for example, liquor was illegal.
Correct.
Right? And they called that prohibition.
Correct.
They said it's because it's harmful to America and to people and society, so we're going to make this illegal. But when the reality is that it made a lot of people wealthy to do it underground.
Correct.
Right? Then they made it legal. Then marijuana, which is hemp, it's a plant.
Right.
They said, well, we can't regulate it to these brown countries.
Right.
So let's make it illegal
Right.
globally so that we can then do the underground thing.
That's facts.
Poppy seed, same
Yes.
thing.
Mhm.
Understand? So, and then we can trade it and we can use it to start wars and other things. I'm not
Yes.
doing conspiracy theories. These are facts.
No, these are facts, but people don't
know
want to
them.
see it
Right,
as well, so they
I,
call it conspiracy.
as a group of people, meaning folk from the global majority who have been used in this illegal, legal game that has been played, we've
Right.
been the commodity in many ways.
Right.
We've even helped economies
Definitely.
with the prison, industrial complex.
Definitely.
Again, you can read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. You can watch Slavery by Another Name to see how that's played out. But the criminalization of things, I don't get caught up in because
Right.
it's all whether or not the government can benefit from it.
And blockchain and cryptocurrency are actually going to break those chains. That's why they're kind of fighting back on it right now. The talk of regulation is starting to happen. Now, regulation, a lot of the crypto community does not like. They're like, no, you want to come in and touch my money the same way you touch my money in the bank and so forth. Yeah, I get that, but they're not going to be able to do it the same way as a bank because the bank is transparent. So it will be regulations on how you use the money and the retailers and the services that you buy and so forth like that, but they can't necessarily regulate the actual money. But we want the regulations to come down and the government to say, okay, let this go on so it can build more, and then the 21 million bitcoins that will ever be mined become very, very valuable when 4 to 5 billion people start using them in the world.
That's what you want. So
yes.
There's a finite amount of Bitcoin in
yes.
the world. The way there once was a finite gold, right?
Bitcoin will be gold.
When our dollar was backed by gold,
yes,
which means for every dollar that was equivalent in gold, when Nixon took the gold standard off,
that's correct.
Our dollar just became this kind of wink and nod.
It's paper.
It's paper.
Cotton-based paper.
Cotton.
And ink. That's the value of it.
Right. 866-801-8255. We're talking with Tat Wizza, who is in this. So when did you get in?
Well, I paid attention, obviously, from the beginning. I started my tech blog, tatstechtalk.com, in 2008. And then in 2010, we started Inflex We Trust. I kind of left my personal tech blog alone because Inflex We Trust became so successful. Yeah, right. It was like we were getting 210 million views a year. So it's definitely was crazy. So I had to focus there and make sure that was all correct and everything was moving. We were trying to get hacked from China and Russia like every day. It was crazy. But I've been paying attention to blockchain and crypto since it came out, since Satoshi wrote the white paper. But it only recently in the last 9 months kind of became safe to buy. Like we mentioned Silk Road, there was that stink on it. Then really the way you bought Bitcoin back in the day when it was very affordable was you sent your money over to Europe or Asia or somewhere in hopes that somebody would buy the Bitcoin for you and put it in the wallet and then send you the key so you could hold on to it, and then that just seemed very nervous. I didn't have enough money to
mess around and have it
lost.
Yes,
and that's the thing with crypto is only deal with the money that you can afford to lose because it will go up and down.
Yeah, I have a Coinbase.
Yes, Coinbase is perfect.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Shout out to Alan Boomer and Tiffany Hawkins gave us all the staff a little starter kit on Coinbase. So then I bought the equivalent in Ethereum. It was Ethereum. I have an ETH wallet or whatever that is.
Yeah, Ethereum.
Yeah, so I could see which is doing, and they're both down right now.
Yes, the whole bubble is down right now.
Because
but that's
of the stock
good.
market?
No, I don't think actually that they have anything to do with each other.
But in a mentality way, what I would say that the
stock
market
was hitting records. It is the same of the self-correction. Yes, it is the same of self-correction. Boom. Until the value of Bitcoin is flushed out entirely, where just like fiat money, we are all using it at the same time, it will be in a bubble. It will go up and down. So that's why you only mess with what you can afford to lose in a sense. It'll be back. Don't worry, it'll be back. But at the same time, you can't use it right now. And like you said with the gold, remember back in the 1800s, people used gold back and forth for currency. That's what Bitcoin is now. But at some point, it'll be too valuable for that. And then the altcoins will be what we use for currency.
Let me ask you this. And we're talking with Tat Wizard, and I'm going to hold him over because you were doing some illegal stuff at some point, what people considered illegal.
The streets, yes.
The streets. You were in them streets.
Yes.
And I've often said, again, there's never going to be any judgment from me because I recognize how the system is laid.
Right.
But sometimes we make willful decisions,
yes.
Knowing the consequences.
Yes.
How do you parlay that knowledge into becoming this tech wizard, which you are?
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate that.
How does that correlate? Because there's some kids out there. Yeah, but what did you study? What did you read? How did you learn about this?
It's not necessarily about tech per se coming from the street. It's about your passion. I was always that kid that always wanted to know every button that the remote control for the TV or the VCR did. So that was my passion. I actually went to school. Even though when I was in the streets, I actually have a degree. I went to school for film. To be a film director. That's what I wanted to do, and I did that. I've directed a few videos and so forth, but I always had this underlying passion for technology back when it was called electronics, right? So I just needed to know everything that everything did. So when I said I was leaving the streets alone, I was like, okay, well, I got to figure out, what I'm going to do now aside from the radio thing that I was in, because I've been in Hot 97 and MS for 20 years. So I said, well, you know what? I really love technology. And in 2007, the iPhone came out. And I knew that was going to change the way we viewed and the way that the pace of technology. Once you put the power of a computer at your fingertips 24/7, anything could happen. I knew that was going to happen. So I said, okay, in 2008, Twitter had came out and took over from MySpace, and Facebook was on the rise.
MySpace is now a punchline.
It is a punchline. But it was, you have to give it its props. It was king of the hill. It showed us the way that social media was something.
The way Napster.
Right. It
changed
was
the
going
game.
to be correct. So it was like, okay, now you got Twitter. So now it's just one thing right after the other. And then now you got a phone that's going to do both. It's like this is going to take off. So I said, let me monitor technology. Let me start my tech blog and let me do it like that. And that's what I did.
What was the first thing you blogged about?
Oh, wow. The first thing I blogged about probably was the iPhone versus the BlackBerry at the time. BlackBerry was king of the hill.
Yeah.
So it was like, and I had a lot of people saying, there's no way iPhone is going to, there's no buttons. It's not going to win. I'll say, if you give yourself a month and force yourself, it's going to be the same exact thing, and this is the future. And it's Apple. And Apple was, Steve Jobs was the man at the time. So.
We're talking with T-A-T, Wizza, W-Z-A, like RZA.
Yeah.
We're talking tech. How'd you get caught? Because you said you got caught. Somebody's so smart. I always want to know how you got caught.
Well, I mean, I guess I could, now it's the
There's no statute of limitation.
No statute.
Outside of murder, so let me just be clear.
I'm definitely no bodies on
No.
me, so I'm good.
After outside of murder and
7 years
thievery,
is the longest.
Thievery. All other crimes, I think, are, rape, murder.
There's a money one. There's a money one that follows you for a long time, like a certain amount of money that you take or whatever.
Okay, embezzlement. There was something.
Well, whatever dealing with money, that grand theft type.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like there's certain crimes that should always be crimes, and I think rape, which is pedophilia and all of that included, right?
Yep.
Murder, of course, and all of that,
Yep.
assault and everything. But the other things that are crimes, like it's illegal to smoke weed and cocaine.
Right.
It's bull crap. All right. But so how did you get caught?
Well, greed and
So it got good to you, and you thought you were too smart?
Or just doing something. I got caught up in car insurance fraud, and so that was really not in my wheelhouse. But a few people that I knew had ate off of it, and I was like, well, I'm going to eat too.
Right.
And I didn't know that the guy had gotten caught and was recording me. And
okay, so you deserve that. All right.
Yes.
All right, we'll talk. That was 866-801-8255. I have a few more questions. I'm going to hold you over, and we're going to talk a little history after this. Well, no, we have other guests too. It's a long show. But I want to remind folk, you got some good energy.
Thank you.
Me too. My energy is.
Your energy is always high.
How you know?
I've checked you out. I'm in these digital streets.
You in them streets.
I see what's going on out here.
Well, I had my beats today.
Okay.
Tap Wizard. And part of the beats is to give you the energy that sustains, so you're not crashing. I'm gonna be here for another few hours. I gotta work after this. And I needed to have that. So I got up this morning and got my beats on. But, what's also good about beats, not just stamina, it helps with your blood pressure, your blood flow, all of that. Because it's just beats. It's real beats, which is a superfood. And it works with your body's own nitric oxide, so it helps you with all of those areas. But the cool thing about super beats is that they have the beats grown to exacting standards, and then they concentrate it into a superfood crystal.
Okay.
Superfood crystal that you can put in water or a smoothie. I prefer it. Somebody's like, I don't like it in water. Put it in a smoothie.
Yeah.
I like the regular flavor. They have black cherry as well. But check it out for yourself, right? Here's what you got to do. Call 800-655-0090 or go to Karen Hunter Beach. Karen Hunter Beach, free shipping, all of that 30-day supply, 800-655-0090. Oh, I got that in. All right.
Yes, you did.
All right. So then we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then we're going to come back. Sherry's Berry. Another Sherry's Berries. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
So it's one Sherry's Berry giveaway a day? Okay. All right. She'll be here. She's going to talk white lady. Whatever. Oh, is that on? Okay.
It is,
right.
but you know what? We pro-black.
That don't mean nothing. I'm just saying. You talking black history.
I didn't even get the music.
All right.
That's a fact.
All right. Body. All right. Super Beats.
Let's knock out the other one. We'll
This
just start
one?
off the hour.
You
Hello
want
Fresh.
me to start off with it?
No, we got HelloFresh and Super Beats, but yeah, we still have 1 hour to hold over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get that in.
And then, what time do you want to do the next guest?
Like 5:15.
Okay.
I want to, I have a couple more tech questions.
So maybe,
for tat.
maybe if you want to unpack the book, you want to maybe take an early regular break. in the third hour?
Yeah, I do want to talk about this because it's important.
So we'll do an early break after the end of this segment. Cool?
A regular break at 5:15.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
And then you could have 2 live reads already done. So you could start off with one and end with one. And then you'll be all clear for the rest of the show.
The business. So the in Flex We Trust, you actually did the technology?
I didn't actually code the site. We hired developers for that, but I just watched and maintained everything. And then like when there was a technical issue, like a piece of code got in the way of traffic, because a lot of people don't understand is you can build something beautiful, right? But if it's not coded to where a lot of traffic can come,
how do you do that?
It took me a long time. Everything I have is self-taught. So it took me in going through the process of having having traffic and it jamming us up, I had to learn what it was that was the problem.
Why is that? So I never cared about like Twitter or, social media. I just like, if I put it out there, it's good, people will find it. And then I'm learning that you gotta like build your audience, but I always wanted to build an audience organically based on great things, not just like having an audience. Just
having it there, and that's where it's kind of come back to in a sense, because it was where you got 100,000 people, you're the bomb, right?
Right.
But then you go on those pages and you see that those 100,000 people are getting 10 likes, 20 likes, 30 likes, and it's like, well, what's really going on here? Then you go to somebody that got 1,000 people and they got 150 likes and 200 views and all of this other stuff, and you're like, well, that feels a little bit stronger.
Right.
So that's where it's starting to, like, now, the Kardashians.
How do you monetize that?
Well, it's coming into fruition because the companies who are making their budgets more digital now than they were before, where it used to be a bigger TV and radio spend, are spending more now in the digital space, are finding out what's the most effective way and the biggest impact. They're finding out that people with smaller followings are getting a bigger impact overall than the Kardashians per se, or whatever the case is of somebody with that huge social media following. But that's really because when that was the wave, people figured out how to buy followers. Right.
Which I'm like, that's appalling.
Because it's going to hurt you in the long run. And then people see it. And then everybody knows, like, well, how you got 100,000 followers, but you got 10 likes? That don't even make sense. Right. So, but the same way people see that, the brands see that. So they're like, I don't think I really want that. So what's becoming a thing now is niche buying.
So would you work? Do you work for other people, or you just?
I do more consulting right now, and like I also am the same way as you. I want to build mine organically, right? But here's my problem. I work at Hot 97, which is 12 to 25, young demographic. What I got to say, the kids feel like they already know. So they're like, so my following is only like 5,000 people.
Welcome back. This is the hottest show in the galaxy. At least that's what they tell me.
That's what it is.
We are with Tat Wizza. We're talking some stuff here. But I think we're just scratching the surface, and I don't think we're going to have the time to get deeper in it, but I think it's important.
You're going to need to have me back, that's all.
No, we're going to keep having a conversation. You and I, we're going to keep talking, because here's the truth. I want people to have power in their own community, and I want them to understand the world in which we live and how we position ourselves. I'm actually reading Carter G. Woodson. He's the grandfather, supposedly, of Black History Month.
Okay.
But, it started as a week, right? And people need to know that. But for what he's talking about is our miseducation and not understanding the system in which we are involved in, have been used as currency. And you really need to understand so you can plan for the future. And I think a lot of us have futuristic vision, but we just don't understand the foundation in which. So you can't work in something if you don't understand how it works. Like you taking apart the remote or figuring out every button.
Right.
That's important.
Yes.
So when you talk blockchain, a lot of times people eyes glaze over, or they jump in without any understanding of everything. Like, I'm playing with it.
Yes.
But let me just tell you, less than $1,000 in this. I'm not playing with my real money that I
Right.
need to live off of. So I'm gonna put just a little bit in
Right.
to see what's going on, so I can track it the way I did for a couple of years with stocks before I jumped in and figured out the dividend game.
Right. Right.
What's the game plan with blockchain and,
Well,
and Bitcoin
that's the
and
thing is,
Ethereum and
like I said, Bitcoin is going to be gold in the long run, right? So right now, everybody's playing with Bitcoin. That is the thing that you're going to use as your currency if you are in that game, right? But my advice is buy and hold. Just buy and hold. Don't look at it as, oh, I'm going to make $1,000 if I do this now. It's not the stock market. It's not meant to be bought and sold off like that. It's meant to buy and have for down the road when it is valuable. The more you buy now at the value at low, the better you'll be later when the value is super high. The other currencies, cryptocurrencies called altcoins, they're alternative coins, which is only because Bitcoin is the first coin, everything else is an alternative coin, like Ethereum, are going to be used as currencies. Now, the thing about blockchain is it's about what it's used for, right? The case use. What is the altcoin being used for? Ethereum is doing very well because a lot of the other ICOs and other...
what's an ICO?
An ICO is an initial coin offering. Now,
Like an IPO.
like an IPO except for an ICO. Now, the problem is because they became successful, that's where the scam and the criminality is right now. They're about 90% of the ICOs are BS. They don't actually, they're not even going to try and do something with them. They're just trying, because people are starting to believe in this, they're gaining hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's becoming, it went from 90% of ICOs coming into an actual coin to 40% of ICOs coming into an actual coin. Now, the thing is you got to look at is really what the coin does. What value does it have? What is it offering you? Ethereum is you can do games on it. You can do a lot of different things on the blockchain. That's why it has a lot of value. China, there's this kitten basketball game. I don't even know what it is. But
Kittens and basketball.
it's something, I've never played it. It's in China, but it's huge, which is another reason that Ethereum is blowing up right now. But then there's a lot of others. There's a Cardano, which is going to be like Ethereum. It just hasn't actually, it's still in theory. So it's basically it's at 60 cents a coin right now because it's basically just about what it's going to be.
How do we know, Tat Wizza, that this isn't like the Pet Rock or so many other things that came and then it left?
Right.
You know, and we don't even
The Pet Rock was here for how long?
I don't know.
Doesn't feel like that long.
All right. Well, what about MySpace?
Okay, MySpace was here a couple years.
Yeah.
It came and it went, but
Yep.
it didn't have any case use for actual value. There wasn't anything that you could build on top of it except, well, it did have
Yeah, I was
value,
gonna
right?
say,
It
people
had
are building
value of
brands.
branding themselves, right? And it did what it was supposed to do. Even if it came and went, it did what it helped you brand yourself, and it gave everybody else like Twitter and Facebook and
An idea.
Instagram the knowledge that if I build something, the people will come to it. That's what this is. And the reason that Bitcoin is successful is because the core community are tired of fiat money and governments telling them what to do with their money.
What if? Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
Throw it out there.
Tat Wizard.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Okay. All right. So Gaddafi said, "All right, we're gonna take dollar off the oil standard. We're gonna use another currency, and he's not here anymore, right? Well, if somebody says we're gonna take out the people that are doing this,
You can't take out
we're gonna take out the operatives. You saying
it's
nobody knows?
Well,
who?
you know what it is? The coordination that would take, like the people that are doing it all over the world.
Yeah.
You're not going to find everybody. I know Bitcoin miners that because they become millionaires because they've been mining it since 2009, they've gone underground. You don't even know where they are. The Winklevoss twins that lost in Facebook, they own millions of Bitcoin.
Right.
They're sitting on a fortune right now. Yeah. Like, you're not going to take this out. It's not happening. And it's not, from my understanding, it is not hackable.
It's not hackable.
It's not hackable.
Okay. So if somebody's listening right now, you say dip your toe in. What, you go to Coinbase?
Go to Coinbase. You can go to tatstechtalk.com. The post that's sitting there is a guide that will walk you through your first steps, including my Coinbase link that if you use, we both get $10 in Bitcoin that will grow into more money.
Okay, that's
And
a valuable
That's
thing.
a valuable thing. And then no less than $100. And you can do less, of course, but I would start out with no less than 100. But if you have it, especially right now when it's in the $6,000-$7,000 range, if you could do 1,000, it'd be perfect for you. Because when it goes up to
10,000,
17 and
right.
27,000, and you're gonna see $2,000-$3,000 in your account, you're gonna be like, "Yo, this is lit. This is just the beginning."
Okay, all right.
When India, how many people does India have? 2 billion.
Close to.
So when somebody takes an Android, a loose manufacturer Android phone, and puts a crypto wallet on it and gives all Indians in India a way to pay money back and forth, how much do you think that's going to be worth then?
You're making a really, I see what you see.
We haven't even touched the surface of economies.
So which one?
Well, Bitcoin is going to be
Ethereum.
gold.
Which one?
Well, I like Ethereum. Ethereum you could build stuff on, so it's going to stay valuable. And I like Litecoin. But the problem with Litecoin is Bitcoin has implemented this Lightning network that makes it faster. Litecoin was made to be currency. Bitcoin was not. So Litecoin spits out more coins at a time than Bitcoin, and it's faster, right? So it's supposed to keep the fees down. But since Bitcoin has enacted the Lightning network, fees have been coming down. It's been a little bit faster. So people trust Bitcoin more. But overall, Bitcoin is going to be gold. So you can't think of, let me get this $1,000 and find everywhere on the web that takes Bitcoin. All you're doing is giving your value away at this point. If you look at the case history of 50 Cent, who in 2014 sold his album with the ability to use Bitcoin, got 700 Bitcoins in. And he's sitting on millions just from that right now.
Get rich or try dying today. I think
15th,
it's the 15th anniversary.
15-year anniversary.
Go ahead. Die trying. Get rich or what?
Get rich or die
say?
trying.
What did I say? Try dying? That could happen.
He's wearing a shirt saying got rich and didn't die.
Right.
Yeah, nah. 50's the man. 50. I know. Shout out to Maggie. I know his team over there. Shout out to Jeremy, the digital team. They're pretty dope.
Are they?
Yeah, no. Well, Jeremy's still there. Maggie's not there anymore.
Well,
Maggie's not there anymore. She's super dope. Jeremy's still there, so he's still good. But no, but she's always involved. Whatever. Shout to Liberty.
All right. I think we should have like a monthly seminar.
Let's do it.
All right. Wizza. I like you. What's your blog?
You can go to Tats Tech Talk, TATSTECHTALK.com.
It's too many T's.
It's too much, right?
Right. Do we have the link? Just tweet it out. If we have the link, we're going to tweet it out.
All right.
On SXM.
Or just follow me on all my social media, TATWZA.
That's it. That's easy.
That's it.
Tat Wizza.
Yep. No I.
I know. Wizza.
Some
like
people
Wizza.
like to put the I in there.
They
They're not hip hop based like us.
They don't know Wu-Tang.
They're not
Because Wu-Tang's for the children.
That's a fact.
Tat Wizza, thank you for being here.
Thank you so
I want to
much.
have more
Shout out to
conversations
Jemeson.
with you.
Shout out to Reg.
Yeah. Shout out to the shout out crew. When we come back, we're going to talk history. Jean Theo Harris. I think that's how you say it. Maybe she'll tell me how to correct me. Because I just obviously have dyslexia today.
I have
believe
dyslexia.
I did that. Do you?
Yes.
Maybe that's why you're into the sciences and the math and stuff.
Yes.
Did I just say get rich or tie drying? No, I didn't
You
say
said
that.
it different
I just said it
again,
different
but
again.
that was fire. Tie drying.
I like that. All right. So, where is it? Smiz is like, you have another ad to read. I love my advertisers. I have two more. Okay. Adore me. So you have a significant other?
I do not at the moment.
Okay. Well.
But if I do, I will try Adore Me.
That's right, because it's lingerie. It's sexy.
Oh, yeah. She's got to get that.
Yeah, you got to, because, it's important. And Valentine's Day is around the corner, but I don't think we should just do things because it's Valentine's Day.
That's
I think
a fact.
every day should be Valentine's Day. So go on there right now. AdoreMe.com/Karen Hunter, because here's what's really cool. A 70% savings. Now, it's a Valentine's Day sale, but you can do it right now. $14.95 for your first bra panty set, but it's more than bras and panties. You go to AdoreMe.com/Karen Hunter, you get sucked into the wormhole, that rabbit hole of lacy stuff and all kind of full coverage. Look at
We like that.
Yeah, no, it's important. Your stuff needs to be covered so that you can
uncover it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tat,
I get
see?
it. I get it.
Because I think today we're showing too much.
Yeah.
But we can show just
Just
enough.
the right, yeah.
Thank you. Adore Me is great because it's women owned, women created
Okay.
for women. So you know we know how to do stuff for
For
ourselves.
women by women.
That's right, like the FUBU of
There you go.
yeah, of
Yep.
lingerie.
Mhm.
AdoreMe.com. Listen, Vogue, Glamour, Elle, all of them have been featured. 1 million plus have been sold, and right now 70% off your first set, $14.95. AdoreMe.com/Karen Hunter. AdoreMe.com/Karen Hunter. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you so
Cat
much
Wizard.
for having me.
866-801-8255. I'm giving out the number because I know you're going to have some questions about history when we come back. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Yeah, can we keep in touch?
Yes.
I need help.
Yes, no,
I
definitely.
need you to help me.
Whatever
I need
you
to help
need,
me
I got you.
become the empress